the banged up receiving core. S.J. Green and Kenny Stafford being down. Looking for Cunningham. The second-year men step up.
Jackson gets loose up to the 38-yard line. Brought down by Montreal's Chris Hackey, a 29-yard return with 7 to go in the third quarter.
Now we'll look back at that touchdown. You know, I've always got to give my fullback some love. Nice cut block here by J.C. Beaulieu on the defensive end. That's going to allow Phil Blake to pull, get around the outside, and lead the way for B.J. Cunningham. Lines up in that backfield. Beaulieu gets the defensive end down. That gets him the edge. Blake's around the corner into the secondary on Abdul Kane, and touchdown.
That play could have been run 40 years ago. That's as old as the game itself, isn't it? Rolled down by the fullback, pulled by the guard, touchdown.
I think we used to call it 49 sweep in the old Calgary playbook.
Did you? Okay, good to know. And you knew your job perfectly.
That's it. Block somebody. Block somebody and get out of the way.
Gain of 6 in that play. It's 2nd and 4, and some urgency now for Ottawa.
It's a 2-score ball game, and they've relinquished that momentum that they had to close out the first half.
Burris fires a one-hopper for Williams, incomplete, and he gets some words from Ethan Davis on the corner for the Alouettes. Davis, one of 3 first-year players starting in the defensive backfield for the Alouettes.
Well, it was interesting to see the reaction of Javon Johnson, the veteran, on the back end when Ethan Davis got in Chris Williams' face. Javon Johnson just came up, pushed him out of the way, said, "Get out of here."
So when Javon Johnson's the voice of reason, Medeiros back to punt. High kick, Logan pushed inside the 15-yard line, and doesn't get much farther than that. A terrific special team stop by Antoine Pernot, a 52-yard punt and a return of 4. Has shown some flashes. The question is, how close are they to getting it together?
How close are we? I wish I had that answer. You know, I feel like every week in practice we're doing a lot of good, and have a chance to do it every week, and we see spurts of it, but we just haven't done it consistently. You know, even when we have moved the ball, we haven't always scored touchdowns. We've had to settle for a field goal or even an attempted field goal, but it's been frustrating.
Frustration now for Ottawa as that terrific punt and no return was negated by a penalty for having a man illegally downfield, so Ottawa will have to kick it again. So 30 points tonight for an Ottawa team that only crossed, or a Montreal team rather, that only crossed the 20-point mark twice. So Medeiros to kick it again. This time Logan from the 30. Again gets wrapped up, but this time at the 35-yard line. So that was more than a 10-yard penalty. That was a penalty that cost Ottawa 20 yards in better field position by the Alouettes.
Yeah, field position so critical in the Canadian Football League.
You could actually play a tune on that thing. I didn't think that was possible.
It's a gift.
A rare gift.
Well, you heard Jim Popp talk about the need for consistency in this Montreal offense, and that's the thing, and a big part of it, playing 60 minutes. He talked about finishing drives and so on.
First down for the 35. Here's Bland, swings it up to Rutley. And Rutley pushed out of bounds there by Forrest Hightower of Ottawa. A gain of 7. Alouettes will take on Winnipeg at home next week. Ottawa will be home to BC, and later tonight we've got BC and Calgary in a terrific showdown in the West Division. Second and short. Right under pressure, and down he goes. And Zach Evans, who was shaken up earlier, comes right back in drops Kevin Glenn and forces Montreal to punt. The loss is 7.
I talked about Zach Williams' athleticism, and you're going to get a pretty good look at it. Right here, the big fella's lined up on the inside. He's got a background in Ukrainian dance, by the way, to which he credits some of his athleticism, and I think that spin move might have come from that art form. You think? No?
If you say so, and he said, more importantly, if he says so, sure.
Well, he's very proud of that Ukrainian
Yeah, he
dance.
should be. What about high kicking then? No, okay. Here's Jackson from the 30. Flag is down. Jackson looking for the corner, now a block, he gets it, and Jackson out close to midfield, finally brought down there by Montreal's Martin Bedard, a 44-yard punt and a return of 23. The Coors Light Games are coming to TSN, tuning to watch over 500 participants from across Canada compete in this year's games. Catch the action Thursday, September 1st at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific across
Illegally
the
downfield
TSN
on a
network.
kick. Montreal number 97. That penalty be declined. First down.
So Laverius called for illegal downfield for Montreal. And so Ottawa in business here. Not far from where Henry Burris threw that pass for the touchdown at the end of the first half. That ball, by the way, traveled 70 yards in the air.
41 years old, right?
Yeah. Burris throws, and the pass is caught. Great diving catch there by Ernest Jackson inside the 40, a gain of 18 yards.
See Ernest Jackson. The quick slant here. Soft spot in behind those linebackers and goes down to get it.
Jackson again with a quick catch. And a gain of 5, and Henry Burris, as much as anyone, appreciates the toughness of Ernest Jackson.
E-Jack is honestly the leader of our receiving corps. When it comes to physical play, there's no receiver more physical in our receiving corps than Ernest Jackson. I mean, he's a guy who sticks his neck in there. He makes all types of great plays for us. I mean, he plays the game with reckless abandon. And I mean, he cares less about his body. It's all about him getting his hands on that ball and making plays.
There they go again. Jackson the catch. Another first down.
Feed the beast.
Got 6 catches for over 120 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, Ernest Jackson's on a roll here. 3 in a row, all of them coming between the hash marks in traffic.
In Rochester, New York, who played his college football at the University of Buffalo. Now, Burris throws, and that pass almost intercepted by Javon Johnson, falls incomplete. Inside 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter, and Ottawa driving.
Well, 4 straight targets for Ernest Jackson.
And there's a flag on the play.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 11. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Chip Cox called for illegal contact, and that will move the sticks now just outside the 10-yard line to the 12. We mentioned that Montreal not far behind Ottawa in the penalty department. Ottawa, the most penalized team in the CFL. And right away there's illegal movement, or early movement rather, as Alan Michael Cash jumped.
You see Chip Cox starting just inside that hash.
Procedure. Ottawa number 55. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
This time Sir Vincent Rogers called for moving early. And Ottawa will give 5 of those yards back as the ball goes back to the 17.
I will say I'm not crazy about the call on Chip Cox. He's in a situation where that's actually a rub route coming at him. To me, that's the offensive player initiating the contact, and he's kind of protecting himself. He's trying to chase a receiver who's out in the flat. He's not looking to collide with the guy on the vertical.
Here comes the pressure from Montreal. Burris throws it up in the air. The pass is incomplete.
Oh, we're going to call that play a small victory for Henry Burris to avoid the sack. He does a nice job with a little pump fake and step up to avoid the linebacker Venable, who's coming off the edge. See the pump fake here to get him to hesitate, and then he steps up, which buys him at least enough time to throw it away instead of losing yards.
Now 2nd and 15 from the Montreal 17-yard line. Minutes to go in the third quarter. Burris gets bumped, and down he goes. Tracking him down from behind is Gabe Napton. Another huge loss on the play. This time 13 yards, and Ottawa will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, the initial pressure is going to come from Javon Johnson, who as a halfback has become a big part of the pressure package for Montreal this year. Then you're going to see Napton contain rush from the other side. Both do a nice job, again, not giving Burris an escape route around either edge. They're getting as deep as the quarterback, pinching him in.
Now from the 37-yard line, Milo puts it up and through, and Ottawa nibbles into the lead. Now down 11 with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. So the Owls D, which at one point was facing first down from its own 10-yard line, fights back, turns in a big sack, and maintains a double-digit lead.
Yeah, keep it a 2-possession ball game.
For all the talk about how great Montreal was offensively in the glory years, and it was, that was a great defensive football team as well. And that defense has continued under Noel Thorpe and remains one of the CFL's stingiest.
Yeah, I think for a lot of years there was that, call it a symbiotic relationship between offense and defense, where the offense controlled the ball so much that the defense stayed fresh.
First down carry goes to Rutley up to the 45-yard line, close to a Montreal first down on the final play of the third quarter. So Montreal came in at 2-5, stumbling through the first part of the season, but an 11-point lead. Now the problem, the fourth quarter, easily the Owls' worst of the season. Can Ottawa come back? Friday Night Football returns with the fourth quarter in a moment. Back here in Ottawa, here are the numbers through 3 quarters of play, and again, fewer than 100 rushing yards between the two teams, but time of possession, the Alouettes are actually in the game against Ottawa. That's been one of the big problems for Montreal in recent weeks, is poor time of possession. B.J. Cunningham with a 12-yard run. It's a 30-19 lead for the Alouettes entering the fourth quarter, and that's been the issue for the Alouettes. Here's a huge part of their season and a big part of the game.
Yeah, no question. Montreal needs to find a way to close, and they have had trouble with this. They've had trouble containing other teams in the fourth as well. So, I mean, this isn't just an offensive problem. This isn't just a defensive problem. It's a little bit of an inexperience problem is how I would describe it.
They've been outscored 66-17 in the fourth quarter this season. So Vernon Adams comes in on 2nd and short for the Alouettes. 2nd and about a yard. Flags are down. Adams goes ahead. He's got the first down yardage. The question is, what's the penalty? And more helmets flying off. This time, Vittorio Latanzio has his taken off. That's about the 3rd time we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, things get a little down and dirty in those scrums.
Offside, Ottawa number 21. 5-yard penalty, first down.
They'll take the 5, the first down, the drive will continue. One problem for the Alouettes, you talked about the fact they've been behind so much, they haven't run the football, but they've not run the ball effectively. They don't have a rush of over 20 yards in their last 6 games. Now a fumble as Vernon Adams stayed in, and down he goes. The loss is huge. Connor Williams brings him down. So Adams, scarcely used, loses 15 yards on the play.
And if you're Montreal, you'd like to find ways to get your young quarterbacks some reps in game here. Jim Popp electing to let Adams stay in after a short yardage plunge.
He'd only attempted 9 passes entering this game. That was against Hamilton about a month ago. So now Glenn's back in. Welcome back. It's 2nd and 25. gets away, throws it underneath. Cunningham has it. It's a lot of the yards back. Huge block by Nick Lewis. And Cunningham gets out to the 49-yard line. That's enough for a first down. What a block by Lewis for a gain of 26 yards.
Well, it starts with great poise by Kevin Glenn. Looks like he's in trouble with the pressure. Comes on the twist from Zach Evans. He dodges that to find Cunningham. Then watch for the big block here from Nick Lewis on the sidelines. He decleats Antoine Pruneau.
The 2nd and 25 playbook is not very thick, but Montreal pulls one out there. And now Rutley on the first down carry, bounces off Munoz. And Kane drags him down after a gain of about 5 yards.
And that's the third time, Gordon, this ball game that Montreal has successfully converted on 2nd and 18 or longer. Big plays, making plays when facing adversity. Significant part of the Alouette success tonight.
Just to reset, Ottawa has no timeouts remaining. Lamb throws, here's Lewis. It's collared there by Kane, and the Montreal bench is hot that should be a horse collar tackle against Ottawa. It stands the gain of 16, however, and another Montreal first down.
And just a quick hitter working in the middle of the field.
Seven catches, 98 yards, Dwayne, for Nick Lewis at a touchdown.
And I'll reiterate it. Huge part of Montreal's offensive success is they're getting contributions from a lot of different people.
First down from the Ottawa 27. Back to the ground to Rutley. Finds a seam. He's off and running. Down to the 20 he goes for a gain of 7.
There's the guy calling the shots. Anthony Calvillo, longtime CFL quarterback.
Looking very professorial these days. If there's anyone who knows how to take apart a CFL defense, it's that man. 9th play of the drive coming up. Glenn shovels for Rutley, and Rutley should have a first down as he fights his way down to the 16-yard line.
And we'll see if Brandon Rutley and the ground game become a bigger part of the Alouette strategy here. They look to close things out in the 4th quarter and try and wear down this Ottawa defense.
First down, Alouettes from the Ottawa 16-yard line. Ottawa needs a stop for the defense here. Lamb, under pressure, steps away, has room to run, but slides down to the 16-yard line. All to gain of 6 as John Boyette makes the stop. And not a great spot for the Alouettes. They're going to mark it at the 15-yard line. So just a gain of a yard and a half.
With an extra defensive back on the field for Ottawa. John Boyette coming on and as an extra coverage guy. Here's a plan on able to find anything deep.
Big second down play here. Four-man rush. Glenn throws to Rutley. Room to run. Rutley at the sideline. Dives. Touchdown. Brandon Rutley, a 15-yard score, and the Alouettes convert on a long drive and extend their lead early in the 4th quarter.
Brandon Rutley, terrific receiver. Out of the backfield, and here just has a nose for that end zone. Diving, stretching out to cross the goal line.
And now the point after attempt from Farah. Both teams have missed a point after tonight. This to make it an 18-point lead. And he does. A huge drive by the Alouettes. And they're 4 for 4 in the red zone against the CFL's #1 red zone defense.
He's going to be the guy going to the flat with Rutley, but he gets caught up on the receiver, Sam Giguère. Bump there, you can even call it a bit of a rub by Giguère. That delays Moore just enough to allow Rutley that extra step that ultimately gets him to the end zone.
And what a stretch for the touchdown. So now down 18. Tristan Jackson on the kickoff return. Gets a seam out across the 40. And a good return out to the 49-yard line. And that's where Ottawa will start after a 37-yard gain. There is a flag on the play. So Tristan Jackson back in the lineup for Ottawa. He's going to see some of this return go back, and that's a very costly penalty again for Ottawa. Not just the 10 yards, the loss of the return.
And we'll go back again, Gord, to the Henry Burris pregame speech that you referenced
Illegal
earlier.
block, Ottawa number 8. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's not 10 because they're going to scrimmage the ball at the 15-yard line. It's a 34-yard penalty.
Keep an
Or
eye
at
right
the 9-yard line, it's a 40-yard penalty.
30-yard line.
So it's a call that costs Ottawa 40 yards of field position. First down for Burris under pressure from Cox, and down he goes. And Chip Cox fights his way into the offensive backfield and has his first sack of the year.
Yeah, Chip Cox not as involved in the blitz package as much as he was a few years ago. Shouldn't happen. You can see right there, the Owls are only rushing 5.
This is the third time in the game, Dwayne, that Ottawa has begun a drive inside its own 10-yard line.
And penalties have played a factor.
Trying to draw the Owls offside. Burris from the end zone fires, and the pass is caught by Williams. Good for a first down up to the 26-yard line. A gain of 23.
Chris Williams lined up as the one receiver into the boundary. Nice job climbing the ladder to get that one.
On first down, Burris pump fake, what's over the top now. Some hand fighting down the field. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Mincy as he was batted there with Khalil Payton. And the interception by Mincy sets Montreal up in Ottawa territory at the 43-yard line. Montreal with the lead and the football when we come back.